This is the episode 25 of our teaching, Bold and Courageous, and we're still on the story of the daughters of Zelophehad from Numbers chapter 27. In our previous episode, we looked at how the daughters of Zelophehad approached Moses and the elders of Israel to demand an inheritance of their father's lot, though the law forbade them to do so. And in today's episode, we saw that Moses went to the Lord and inquired of the Lord how he was to respond to these 5 girls. And now God's response will surprise you. God told Moses, Moses, the girls are right. Give them an inheritance in the family. And not just that, but give them also their father's inheritance. This is crazy because one would naturally think that because the law emphatically stated that women were not supposed to own an inheritance in the land, God would side with the law and turn the women down. However, God was clear. The girls were right. Though their father had no son, Moses was to go ahead and give them an inheritance in the family and also give to them their father's inheritance. God's response reveals that he was not in favor of the idea of excluding women from participating in owning an inheritance. When God made Adam and Eve, the scriptures clearly revealed to us that God told them to be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. Notice the word them. This means the instruction and the blessing of God was placed on both the man and the woman and not on just one gender. This is a timely reminder for me and for you, dear listener, that the blessing of God and the stewardship of God is not gender sensitive. Now, imagine all the women who had lived and died in Israel faithfully yielding to this law. Imagine what would have been the life and the outcome of these 5 daughters of Zelophehad if they had not risen up to the occasion to petition Moses for their inheritance. Imagine what would be the fate of these 5 girls if they did not stand up to change the narrative. They would have lived their entire lives away from inheriting what was rightfully theirs. They would have lived their entire lives not having access to their father's inheritance just because they were women. So, dear friends, God has given us an amazing inheritance first in Christ called salvation. And also in life, he has given us all things that pertain to it. The opportunities, places, heights, impacts, and influences that God has opened the door for us to make. Do not let any socio-cultural limitation rob you out of living God's best life for you. Don't let any socio-cultural limitations rob you from experiencing and enjoying what is rightfully yours in Christ. Dare to be different. Rise up above every limitation and become the game changer. Finally, God told Moses, make this a decree on the land. If a man dies and he has no sons, give his inheritance to his daughters. If he has no daughters, give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. If he has no father's brothers, give his inheritance to the nearest relative. This is just amazing. See how 5 girls standing up with boldness and courage are setting the pace to change the entire narrative of a generation. What do we learn from God's decree here? We learn that with God, there is always an alternative. There is always a way. God is not stuck in one corner, stuck with one method. No, there is always a way out. And this is the reason why, as children of God, in life, as we do life, we must never allow anything to keep us stuck. We must refuse to be stuck in life just because one alternative did not work. We must always remember that if one door closes, another one opens. Why? Because with God, there are so many options. God said, if he has no sons, give it to his daughters. If he has no daughters, give it to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give it to his father's brothers. If he has no father's brothers, give his inheritance to any close relative. And that is how open-minded God our Father is. If this video has blessed you, like it, share it, and leave a comment in the comment section. Now, the full message is available on our Telegram podcast, Good News Podcast. Check it out. You will be blessed. If you love Christocentric content, then this is the place.